Alright, guess what? So I talked about this like a week or so ago, and now it's the nut season. It has begun. I'm just walking around at a family mart. Bam. I'm also literally next to a bathroom. This symbol means that it's
new release.
Out of all the crepes I've had in that style, that was probably my least favorite. I'd say it's okay, but I don't know. I didn't like the nut pieces in my mouth. 5 out of 10. And of course, we have to get our dailies in. In today's case, we have the manhole cover next to the sumo stadium. It's probably not called a stadium, I don't know how to call it. And then we got the Pokemon stamp and the JR Line stamp. I have been padding it out quite a bit, but today's plan is going to the Origami Museum. And looking at it on Google Maps shows me that it's quite a small place. So unless I find ways to make the video longer, it's gonna be a short video. So maybe I should talk about the origins of origami. So back in the old Egyptian days when they had like little scrolls, Mr. Papyrus accidentally, instead of scrolling it properly, folded it. And the other guy next to him was like, oh my god fam, why did you do that? And then because he was too ashamed, he just said, oh, it's origami. And now with the Latin translations, it's called origami, the art of folding things. Yes, every book you ever read, origami. If your argument against it is that, oh, it's not origami, it's not art because origami is art, well, if you open a book up, it looks like a bird, and then you're like, whippy, flying in the sky. So it's origami. This is it, in all its glory, next to the taxi parking lot. To be honest, it's less of a museum and more of an exhibition, showcasing what sort of cool stuff other people have made. Like for example, this Japanese aesthetic railway crossing that was made by a 12-year-old. Oh man, I could barely draw a house at that stage in my life. The origami that doesn't have sharp edges goes incredibly hard. Like, it's less of making origami and almost like sculpting stuff. And of course, they have an insane amount of things to buy from as well, from paper to knickknacks that you need for making origami. And even the toilets have origami on them. I asked what origami I should make, and she said, poop. I will show you. It was a really nice place, and as it's a shop, there's no entry price required. Overall, I think it's quite nice if you like scrapbooking, as you can find some very cool paper there, and the museum part can give you inspirations about making origami that you never thought of. Like, I've made origami before, but I never thought about putting it into a frame, because that looks really sick. If you think we didn't notice you, we noticed you. Origami haul. Pink paper with sakura dots, sushi paper. You can make different kinds of sushi with this origami. Children's origami. Make fancy little statues. I'm not sure. Apparently the babysitter has done this in her childhood. Oh, we got the Shinkansen origami. I don't even know how this is origami. I feel like this is just squares that you take together and then you're like, ooh, a train. Cosmos origami. It's very shiny. And then there's just tons of sheets. Like 200-piece sheet with some insane looking art, and the Giga one. It's essentially the same thing, just with different pictures and much bigger. The babysitter bought most of these, but not to make any origami, but because these look so cool, and she uses them for scrapbooking. Like this thing, if the light hits at a certain angle, the color changes. Woo, pretty. And this is just different colors. And you might think, what is this? Well, since today is National Origami Day. What? I have this thing. Look how tiny this is. It's a cube consisting of 500 sheets. Now the challenge with this is to make a crane, the most basic Japanese origami. But just look how tiny this is. So let's see if this is doable. This is pretty much 1 by 1 centimeter square. I switched to tutorial, and this one has completely different ways on how to do this. The previous one just wasn't that good. This one might be shit as well. This goddamn thing is the size of my thumb. What the I lack the dexterity of this. Alright, doing the third tutorial, because the first two suck ass. Alright, the first end worked a bit, the second end went to shit. Look, you got the little head right here, we got the scuffled up tail. That's an origami, I guess. Good talk. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.